Okay, let's start with a question for you. What if the most complex challenges we face, like, say, predicting the stock market, aren't just chaotic? What if they're actually more like an encrypted message, just waiting for us to decode it? That's the really interesting idea we're diving into today. Our mission, really, is to explore how advanced intelligence, specifically AI, is being used to tackle what one expert, Chanan Zevin, calls the modern enigma of our time, which is, of course, the financial markets. We're drawing our insights from the analysis of excerpts from AI, Decoding the Market Enigma, and we'll be looking at perspectives from both Chanan Zevin and Susan. And by digging into this analogy, this whole idea of AI as a decoder, hopefully you'll get a fresh perspective on complexity, prediction, and maybe the power of informed decision-making, not just in finance, but beyond that too. So Chanan Zevin kicks things off with this really fascinating comparison. He draws a direct line between predicting stocks, which often feels impossible, and cracking the famous Enigma machine from World War II. He says the market, much like Enigma, feels impossible to crack, like every move is somehow encrypted, and the real signals are just hidden in noise. It paints this picture of the market not as just random, but as something, well, structured, but deliberately hiding its patterns. How close is that comparison to the original Enigma?
It's a powerful one, isn't it? And to really get it, you have to remember just how incredibly complex the actual Enigma machine was. I mean, we're talking over 1 million possible combinations for encoding messages. The Germans were absolutely convinced it was unbreakable, and, they had good reason to think so. The sheer number of possibilities made just trying every combination, brute forcing it, totally impossible with the tech back then. They really thought they had perfect secrecy.
1 million combinations.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to the stock market. It presents a similar kind of challenge, maybe even a greater one in some ways. It also has, well, millions of parameters influencing it. You've got company earnings, economic indicators, geopolitical stuff, supply chains, and, crucially, just how investors feel about things, sentiment.
Right, the human element. Exactly. But it's not just the number of factors, it's how they interact. How a sudden interest rate change or some new economic report can just ripple through everything, changing how companies are valued almost instantly. Or think about how public perception, maybe excitement about a new technology, can send a stock soaring, even if the company's actual numbers haven't changed much yet. That's sentiment driving things.
So it's this massive tangled web.
Precisely. It creates this incredibly dynamic, interwoven system that we humans, with our biases and, let's face it, limited processing power, just really struggle to untangle consistently. What's striking is how both systems, Enigma and the market, almost seem designed, or maybe it just evolved, to resist easy understanding. And that makes them perfect targets for a new kind of intelligence.
Okay, so if the market is our modern Enigma, then what's the modern equivalent of Bletchley Park? I mean, how do our sources say we should even start trying to crack this thing?
Yeah, good question. And that's where Chanan Zevin is really clear. He insists the answer lies in advanced AI tools. He argues these are the key, basically our modern code-breaking operation, to hunt for those hidden patterns. Those subtle messages buried under all the noise, the things that are often just invisible to our normal human perception.
So AI steps in like the code breakers did.
Exactly like that.
Right.
It mirrors how those brilliant mathematicians and cryptanalysts broke Enigma back in the day. They didn't just guess randomly. They used rigorous analysis, they found tiny patterns in the seeming randomness, and they developed systematic ways to test their ideas, often trying again and again.
Makes sense.
AI does something similar, but the scale and speed are just revolutionary. It can process billions of data points in real time. Billions. Sifting through historical market data, news sentiment from all over, economic reports, social media trends, you name it. And this lets it filter out signals that are genuinely invisible to human judgment. We're talking about patterns that are maybe too subtle or too complex or tangled up with too many other things for us to even notice consciously.
Can you give an example, like what kind of signal?
Sure. Think about AI finding hidden links between sectors you wouldn't normally connect. Or maybe spotting really early signs of a shift in investor mood before it causes a big market move, perhaps by analyzing the specific language used in company reports or online discussions. It's like having, 1 million Bletchley Park code breakers working 24/7, but they never get tired or need a tea break.
Okay, that's a powerful image. But does it mean AI can actually predict the future?
That's a crucial distinction Chanan Zevin often makes. AI doesn't guarantee certainty. It's definitely not a crystal ball giving you perfect predictions. Instead, what it does is provide clarity, speed, and insights. It helps by reducing uncertainty step by step. It's sort of like turning down the static on a radio so you can finally hear the music clearly. It makes our understanding sharper bit by bit and helps us make decisions that are more grounded in data, less on gut feelings alone. So the goal isn't perfect foresight, it's more about steadily, reliably shrinking the zone of the unknown.
Okay, so AI is this incredibly powerful decoder, finding patterns we can't see, giving us more clarity. But is that it? Is its role just about crunching numbers and spotting patterns, or is there more to intelligence in this context, according to our sources?
That's exactly where Chanan Zevin adds a really critical layer to the conversation. It goes beyond just the tech specs. He emphasizes, in this direct quote, intelligence is not only about prediction, it is about responsibility and interpretation.
Responsibility and interpretation.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not just about what the AI can do, its raw power. It's about what we choose to do with its output and the whole ethical framework we build around it. I mean, think about it. An AI might spot some hidden pattern. But if everyone acts on that pattern automatically, without careful human thought, could it accidentally destabilize the market? Or maybe make existing inequalities worse? Or even create entirely new risks we haven't thought of?
Unintended consequences.
Exactly. So human interpretation becomes absolutely vital. Not just to understand the signal the AI found, but to think about its wider impact. We need to ask questions like, okay, is this insight fair? Will it hold up if market conditions change suddenly? What could go wrong if we apply this decision across, say, a huge investment portfolio, or if everyone starts doing it?
So it's about keeping humans in the loop, ethically.
Precisely. It's about making sure these powerful tools actually improve our decisions without undermining our values or, frankly, our control. And Susan really echoes this concern, reminding us that ethics have to stay front and center, especially with something as impactful as finance. So, the real power, it seems, lies in finding this balance. It's a kind of symbiosis, combining AI's amazing analytical strength, its ability to decode the Enigma with essential human oversight, ethical judgment, and our ability to interpret things with nuance. And this really prompts you, the listener, to think, what does responsibility actually mean when we start using tools this powerful? Not just in finance, but, well, anywhere complex decisions are made. We have to ensure these tools serve us and our values, not the other way around.
That's a really important point. Intelligence is responsibility. But, in a world where AI systems are getting faster and more autonomous, how do we make sure the human interpretation isn't just, well, a rubber stamp? Do the sources talk about the practical side of keeping that human oversight meaningful when the AI is churning through data so quickly?
That's a great question, and it's definitely a key challenge. The sources seem to imply this isn't about just sitting back and letting the AI run the show. It actually requires a new kind of human skill set.
Okay, like what?
Like people who understand both the financial markets and how the AI works its strengths, but also its weaknesses and potential biases. So instead of just blindly accepting what the AI says, human interpretation means really engaging with it. It means checking the AI's models, looking closely at the data it's using to make sure it's not biased, running what-if scenarios on its recommendations.
This is more interactive.
Exactly. It's about designing systems where the AI presents the complex patterns it finds, the decoded information, but the human ultimately makes the call, always asking why and what are the potential downsides. It should be like a continuous conversation, a feedback loop, where human insights also help make the AI models better over time. This kind of collaborative intelligence, that's what makes finance genuinely smarter, not just more automated.
Okay, so bringing it all together then. We've got the market as this complex, encrypted puzzle. We've got AI as this powerful new decoder, and we absolutely need human responsibility and interpretation layered on top. How do the sources see all these threads weaving together to shape what finance looks like in the future?
Well, looking ahead, the picture painted by our sources is one where decoding the markets, it continues to be like decoding Enigma. It demands constant innovation, strategic thinking, a relentless focus. It's not a problem you solve once and you're done. It's an ongoing challenge.
Right, always evolving.
Exactly. With AI now firmly in the role of the decoder, investors aren't just getting more data points thrown at them, they're gaining the ability to spot potential systemic risks that might have been totally hidden before. They can personalize investment strategies based on incredibly detailed, nuanced indicators. They might even be able to react to changing market conditions more proactively with the kind of precision that just wasn't possible before.
So, beyond just making better trades.
Oh, much beyond that. It's about fundamentally rethinking how we manage investments to make them more resilient, more adaptable. Ultimately, the goal is making finance smarter, safer, and clearer for everyone involved.
Can you give an example of that, like safer or clearer?
Sure. Imagine AI analyzing huge data sets to spot the very early warning signs of, say, a liquidity crisis brewing in a specific sector, allowing banks or regulators to act before it blows up. That's safer. Or, on the clearer side, think about AI helping tailor investment advice to your specific risk tolerance and long-term goals with incredible detail, maybe by processing thousands of signals about behavioral economics that no human advisor could possibly track for every client.
That makes sense. But integrating all that must be hard.
Oh, absolutely. Putting these AI insights into practice within traditional finance, it definitely presents challenges. You need new infrastructure, people need new skills, and there's a cultural shift required towards embracing this human-AI collaboration. But Chanan Zevin's overall vision, his goal for this approach is really clear: building finance that is genuinely smarter, safer, and clearer. And his final thought really pulls it all together. He says, the puzzle of the markets may never vanish, but with the right intelligence, we can read its code and act with confidence.
Read its code and act with confidence. I like that.
Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? It's not about eliminating complexity, but about empowering ourselves to navigate it much more effectively.
Wow, what a journey we've taken today. From the historical challenge of the Enigma machine all the way to the complex financial markets of today, it really seems clear that AI is becoming this indispensable decoder, right? Unlocking patterns we just couldn't see before. But crucially, as we've heard, real intelligence in this new world isn't just about the machine's ability to predict. It's about our human capacity for responsibility, for interpretation, for guiding these incredibly powerful tools towards creating something that's actually smarter, safer, and clearer for all of us. So maybe here's a final thought for you, Chanan. If the ultimate goal isn't to make the puzzle of the markets vanish entirely, but rather, as Zevin says, to read its code and act with confidence, what does that suggest about how we might approach other really complex, maybe seemingly unsolvable systems in our own lives or in our work? How might shifting the focus from demanding perfect prediction towards achieving greater clarity and just reducing uncertainty, how might that change the way you navigate your own big challenges? Whether it's career choices, personal relationships, or even, bigger societal issues. Something to think about. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.